Hi, Summer School. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Scott with World Story Exchange. You may have worked with us in the past, maybe while you were in first grade during the paper flower peace sign project. Remember the large peace sign that now hangs in your school lobby?
Or you may have participated last year in the Downer Family History Project, or noticed the large photographs hanging in your lobby. Those photographs were made during our 6th grade photography project.
We are happy to be working with you again on another exciting project. We will be making a new art installation together, and you will go on a journey with us to reflect on your experience this past year during the COVID-19 pandemic.
You will be hearing stories made by other youth at Downer and doing reflective writing and art based on your own experiences.
We encourage you to be creative and share the ideas that come to mind. We believe simple stories about our lives can be very interesting and help us to get to know each other.
Scott and I wanted to share a story of a visitor that came to our home during the pandemic. This visitor is an ancient reptile and one to observe yet respect their space. A mama snapping turtle came to our land one morning and we believe laid her eggs where I had planted a watermelon seed. She then rested on the warm rocks near our barn for a few hours.
We were able to make close-up videos of her from a safe distance because our camera was on a tripod. Watch her for a while. Notice how she resembles a dinosaur. So, Lindsay, how does our mama turtle visitor relate to the COVID-19 pandemic?
Mama Snapper reminds me of the extra time I spent at home during the pandemic. She reminds me of the experiences I had at home and all the details around me that I noticed. Details that I had once overlooked in my busy life before the pandemic. Before I may have seen Mama Snapper, then hopped in my car and headed out for the day. But instead, I was home and watched her very slow movements for over an hour.
Now, here's a question for you to answer. If you're watching this on a Chromebook, answer the question in Edpuzzle. If you're watching this as a class, your teacher will record your answers. What details did you notice about your home or neighborhood because you spent more time at home during the pandemic? During the pandemic this year, while everyone was learning from home, the 6th graders were still able to participate in the annual 6th grade photography project. Your school purchased camera kits, and 6th grade students were invited to pick up a camera kit at school. Then they learned about photography over Zoom and made pictures while at home during the pandemic. Now let's hear Lindsay read a story made by a recent 6th grade graduate from Downer Elementary. The storyteller's name is Belinda. Here is her photo and her story about her dog Juicy.
Juicy is very pretty and small, which makes it easy to capture her picture. Her fur is full of many colors and she is very fluffy, which led me to want to choose her as a subject for my picture. She is very photogenic. I bathed my companion and my friend Juicy. She was lying down on the bed looking very cute. I took a photo to save the moment in time with my friend and companion, Juicy.
Now let's hear Lindsay read Belinda's poem about her dog Juicy.
Juicy, my unconditional friend, I hope our joyful memories never end. You have a special place in my heart. I knew I loved you from the start. You are my happiness in these times of isolation. You are my greatest motivation. You help me pass the time, the way you're so sublime. I enjoy your company and your kindness every day, and I get ecstatic when you come to play.
Wow, that's a great poem.
I agree.
Belinda also wrote this conclusion to her story.
Our pets are our companions and friends in these times of quarantine. They can keep you company and be around you since you have to stay at home. Not being able to see my classmates and friends, Juicy is my escape from the loneliness of the quarantine.
Lindsay and I were grateful Belinda made her story about her friend and companion Juicy. Now let's answer some questions about what we just learned. If you're watching this on a Chromebook, answer the questions in Edpuzzle. If you're watching this as a class, your teacher will record your answers.
How did Belinda's dog Juicy help her during the pandemic? Think back on your time during the pandemic. Was there a person or an animal who gave you extra support during the pandemic? Or maybe it was a special place. Think of at least one person, place, or thing that gave you extra support during the pandemic.
Now go back to your answer for that last question and discuss as a class. Share with your classmates some of your stories from your time during the pandemic.